Hello, manifestors. So, circumstances don't matter. I decided to make this video because way too often I get an email from a client or through the many messages that I receive telling me all about their circumstances and what they should do. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what you should do, which you should know already, but anyhow, I'm going to tell you again what you should do when you have circumstances that you do not want. And if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. Like the video, comment, and share the video so more people like you will know what to do when they encounter circumstances that they don't want. My name is Sylviane. I am a manifesting coach. I do one-on-one coaching and email coaching. I have a podcast based on the law of assumption, the teaching of Neville Goddard, every Tuesday on all the podcast platforms. I also have a blog every Thursday. And I have a free Facebook group. It's a private group, but it's free, and a VIP paid group where I do a Q&A live every Wednesday. And Andreza, who is a wonderful coach in my team, is creating knockout challenges to improve your manifesting skills. And all the links are down below this video in the description box. So first off, what are circumstances? Are circumstances coming out of nowhere? No. When you run into circumstances that are unwanted, they are anyhow coming from you. You have somehow manifested those unwanted circumstances. So one thing that you must remember is that, do not treat circumstances as something coming out of thin air that you have nothing to do with. You may not have consciously manifested them, granted, but you did manifest them nonetheless. You have manifested your unwanted circumstances. But when I receive those alert messages or emails, it always seems that the person who sent me the message is talking to me about circumstances that they have nothing to do with. You have manifested them. The thing is, even though you may have started to work on your mental diet, on your conscious manifesting, you are still seeing things that have been manifested prior to that. Plus, on top of that, if you still send me this type of messages, my guess is that you still don't have it all together as far as your conscious manifesting goes. So it is no wonder, it is no surprise to me that you are still seeing unwanted circumstances in your 3D life. So that's the first thing you need to remember, guys. Any circumstances that you do not like, that you are living right now, that you are observing right now, it's a manifestation of yours. That's the first thing you need to remember. Whether or not you found it hard to accept it, you need to accept it once and for all. The faster you are going to accept this, the easier it will be for you to move on and start creating a world that you want to be in. So, let's take the example of the SP, because this is the most common one when it comes to circumstances. Let's say your situation even got worse. Now your SP is telling you that he loves someone else, that he wants to marry or she wants to marry that person, and that they actually accepted to see you today to really tell you that it's over. This is just circumstances. It means nothing. Whether or not they want to move on, they want to marry someone else, and they wanted to see you to tell you that it's completely over, that does not matter. You have no idea how much what people say means nothing. Nothing at all, I promise you. Think about your past. I always tell people, reverse engineer your life to get more faith about the law. Have you ever had a time before where someone was completely crazy about you and promised you the world to dump you soon after that? Has that happened to you? I know it has to many of you because some of you are my clients, some of you have sent me messages about it, and it happened to me. Someone promising me the world, promising me to live with him on a Saturday, and dumping me through email the following Friday. Circumstances don't matter, do they? Because those were yours and my circumstances, right? They were positive circumstances. Did they matter? No, they didn't. Why? Because circumstances don't matter. What matters is what is cooking in your mind right now, what you are imagining, consciously or unconsciously. Because, by the way, we are always imagining. So in my case, how was it possible that I was in this magnificent relationship for a while and that this person was in love with me, wanted to live with me on a Saturday afternoon, the last time I knew about it, and dumped me 6 days later? Why was it? Did that happen all of a sudden? Was I the most unlucky person in the world? And this thing just happened to me, poor victim me. Well, back then I thought that this was the case. Why? Because I didn't know the law. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know that my imagination, my thoughts were creating my circumstances. So when that bad circumstance fell on me, I felt that I was a victim. I felt, oh my God, what's happening here? I did not deserve that. I knew I had not done a thing to deserve that. But again, I did not know the law. You, listening to this video, most of you kind of know a little bit about the law of assumption, or so I hope anyhow. And if you don't, please watch all my previous videos, listen to my podcast, and read my blog, and you'll learn more about the law, on top of reading the work of Neville Goddard. So why did that very bad, painful circumstance happen to me all of a sudden, or what appeared to be all of a sudden? Why? Because the previous weeks to maybe a couple of months or so, I had been starting to think negatively. All my anxieties and doubts and feeling not good enough had came back up to the surface. I felt that I was not good enough. I felt that this person was too good for me. I felt, oh my goodness, once he realized that I'm not doing too well financially, how is he going to react? Is it going to create issues, to create problems, to create frictions between us once he realized that I'm not doing well financially? And so on and so forth. Plus, on top of it all, I had the abandonment syndrome. So I felt always that fear of being abandoned. Therefore, I was. So when you take this example, you can see that your good circumstances, your 3D circumstances, while they were good, see those 3D circumstances, while they were good, I was in a beautiful relationship. I thought I was loved. I never imagined that this would happen to me, on a conscious level, that is. But those, as beautiful as they were just 3D circumstances. So what happened? They did not matter, right? What mattered though was what I was thinking, what I was imagining, consciously or unconsciously. What happened is I was living in the end of a big mess. I remember where I was living in my mind. I was living in the end of something not great at all, regardless of my magnificent circumstances. And in the end, that's what wins. And that's what won. So this is why, guys, I always tell you, if you don't have any faith in the law, you need to go back to your past. This will probably give you as much faith as testing the law now. You should still test the law now, but in case you don't feel like or whatever, you're not testing the law right now, as you should for some reason, go back to your past experiences and see how what you imagined created your circumstances. So when it comes to the future, whatever you want right now, if it doesn't match your circumstances, if right now your SP is not even talking to you, if they have a third party, whatever the situation is, those are just circumstances and they don't matter. Your circumstances will change in just a few days, few weeks, even a few hours, as long as you live in your end. What is it that you want? You want to be in a loving relationship, in a loving marriage with that person? That's where you go. That's what you should be thinking about every moment of the day. That's what you should be feeling. You should be in the state of that person who is in a relationship. You should be doing sats for a little while until it becomes natural. And it doesn't matter if you think you're not good at it. You won't be good at it unless you practice it. So start practicing sats. And if you don't know what sats are, check my blog and you'll learn everything you need to know about the law of assumption and how we manifest. Practice sats. Practice living in the end. Practice being in the state of who you want to be. And you can affirm it as well. Use affirmations that imply that you are who you want to be and that you are in the relationship that you want to have, that you have the money that you want to have, that you have the health that you want to have, that you are cured of whatever disease you want to be cured. Imagine it. Do sats about it, live in the end of it, and affirm it. And if you do this day in and day out for a little while, until it feels real, until you can feel it from the inside out, your present circumstances will go away, what appears to be all of a sudden, because of what you've been living in from the inside out, because of what you have been imagining. So guys, remember, what matters, what creates your experience in this world, it's from within. It's what you are imagining, either consciously or unconsciously. That's what creates your circumstances, not the other way around. There is not a single circumstance right now that can exist unless it was in somebody's mind prior. There is no circumstances that can appear in your existence, in your experience, unless you have somehow imagined it. Remember that? Listen to this video another couple of times and you will finally manifest the circumstances that you want in your physical experience. Thank you for listening, guys. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share the video, and subscribe if you have not yet. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.